Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Trey and Duke here. Today we're going to be discussing a very serious topic, and that is the Cane Corso breeder market and scammers out there. So stick around to the end of this video. I'll be sharing some tips with you guys to help you avoid getting scammed. And without further ado, let's get into it. All right guys, so I've been getting a lot of messages and comments, whether it be here on YouTube or Instagram, about, where did I get Duke from? Do I know any reputable breeders? People telling me that they're in the process of getting a Cane Corso, that they have already given a deposit. And then unfortunately, I get a lot of messages about people telling me that, hey, I just got scammed, or, I think I'm getting scammed. Could you help me out? And all these other things. So today we're just going to have a candid discussion about what's going on in the Cane Corso breeder market and, ways that you can avoid getting scammed. Recently I had somebody who I've been working with who's been excited about getting a Cane Corso. This person had, the breeder that they've been in contact with had sent over pictures, and they were excited, reaching out, trying to get tips. And unfortunately, it came out that they were getting scammed and that they lost their deposit. And thankfully they realized it on the day that they were going to send over the full cost for the puppy. And it's unfortunate that this person lost their deposit, but I'd much rather you, or that person, or you, if you got to lose anything, let it just be a deposit. And some of these deposits can be very expensive, but I'd rather not lose the full cost of a Cane Corso puppy, because people are charging upwards of $2,000 and up for these puppies. Right? I care enough to come sit down and make this video for you guys, because I don't want you to lose your hard-earned money. Right? We all go out in the world, we all do the things that we do. We save up to try to get the things that we want in life. And for us, a lot of you guys are watching this, that's a Cane Corso puppy, right? You want a Cane Corso, you want to get a puppy, you want to raise them up, you want a good, healthy dog to bring into your family. But unfortunately, right, as the world is just not all sunshine and rainbows, right? It's a dirty world out there, and it's a lot of terrible people that will take advantage of you, right? They will, see you in a predicament, maybe desperation, and you're trying to, secure a puppy, and they notice that, and they've built up, illegitimate business centered around securing your deposits and taking them, and then ghosting you after that, and then never, giving you a call back, or you never getting a puppy. That puppy never existed. All right. One thing I do want to share with you guys, and it's very ironic, being in a lot of these circles, these Cane Corso groups, Facebook groups, forums, and all these things, right? There have been times when I've seen people post in a Cane Corso Facebook group saying, hey, we got puppies, here are the parents, right? And they'll post a video of some puppies, picture of two beautiful Cane Corsos, and then somebody will comment, or create a different post saying, hey, this is a scam, this is actually my dog, right? And they'll post a video with that dog, or pictures of their dog, or whatever, right? And it's just crazy. It's sad, and you see it all the time. But when you go read those comments, there are, oh my God, beautiful puppies, I'm sending you a DM now, I want to send over a deposit to secure my spot. And that's where a lot of people got. And it's very unfortunate, because sometimes they'll send over $500, $1,000, and then poof, it's gone. You're not getting that money back. And like I mentioned before, it's just a cold, dirty world out there, and people will take your money. So you have to make sure you are being diligent, you are doing your research, you are in contact with not just the breeder that you found, but people who have worked with that person before, who have actually received the puppy, right? You want to make sure that this is real. Okay, so now that we've had this discussion here, let's go ahead and get into a few ways that you can mitigate a lot of these risks, and increase the likelihood that you will actually receive your puppy and that you are not being scammed. Let's get into that part. Let's go. All right, guys, the first tip I'm going to discuss with you guys is patience. I'm not just talking patience in the sense of I'm waiting for my puppy to turn 8 weeks so I can pick him up. I'm talking about from the moment you decide, hey, I want a Cane Corso puppy, right? You need to be patient, all right? You have to be patient and respect the process. That process comes down to you doing proper research, vetting the breeder that you're in contact with or considering doing business with, maybe reaching out to references who've received puppies from these breeders, and somebody who's worked with them that can say, hey, this is a trustworthy person. This was the type of business that we've conducted. Here were the prices, something you can compare of. You're not just finding somebody on Instagram saying, oh, I got puppies. You send a DM, you send a deposit, and you're just so anxious to get that puppy. You're just, really, you're making yourself gullible at that point, and you will get taken advantage of. So I'm telling you guys to make sure that you are patient and you respect this process. Research in the beginning, be patient, understand that you may take time, do research, find a reputable breeder, but they may not have a litter that's not going to come out until another 6 months, or you may not be on the list to get your pup for another 6 months because they've already let's say taken deposits, or the puppies that they have in current litters are already spoken for. So you need to be patient. Find your reputable breeder, be patient, figure out their process, and you go through that, right? Eventually you'll get your Cane Corso, but in the meantime, remain patient, respect the process, and do everything that you need to do on the front end to make sure that you are going to receive a puppy, and then when you do receive that puppy, you're prepared. All right, so let's get into the next tip. All right, guys, so the next tip I'm going to discuss is to make sure you do your due diligence when it comes to finding a reputable Cane Corso breeder. All right, I like to say trust but verify. That's something we always would say in the military, but you have to do that during this process. Okay, if you find somebody and you decide, hey, this is the breeder, I think they're pretty reputable, I want to do business with them, just don't jump out the window and send them money or whatever the case may be, as we previously discussed. Take some time, do some research on them, okay? All right, you want to vet their website, you want to vet their testimonies, you want to vet their application process, right? We have the internet available, so you can reach out, you can do searches on them, whether it's through Google, drop their name in one of the social media sites. Maybe you can find people that way who might have done business with them, and you can reach out to them personally, talk about the process that they went through. All right, so we have these tools and technology at our hands, so make sure you guys are using them. All right, also don't be afraid to reach out to the breeder. All right, let them know, hey, I'm interested in purchasing one of your puppies, maybe not during your current litter. Right, I understand that you have an application process. I respect that process. Do you guys mind if I travel to view, your current pups, just to kind of get a feel for who I'm working with or whatever the case may be? You don't have to present it to them in using my exact language, right? You can dress it up how you want, but if they are a reputable breeder, they shouldn't have much issues with you coming down, doing a site visit, getting eyes on dogs or whatever the case may be. And that is a good tool or step that you can take, right, to ensure that you will get a puppy at the end of the process, right? Obviously protect yourself during travel or whatever the case may be. I'll leave that on to you guys, but that is something that you can do. All right, so just to recap on that, make sure you're doing your due diligence, research, vet, reach out to people, look for hot leads. And it's not just reaching out to folks saying, hey, where'd you get your dog from? Because they definitely can point you in the wrong direction and, maybe not tell the truth, but they got their dog from one spot, but their buddy now has, their own breeding practice or whatever set up, and they point you to their buddy. All right, so that's another way that you can get got. Okay, so just make sure you are doing your due diligence, not just jumping out the window, sending all your money, and making sure make sure that you vet properly. Okay, all right, so let's get into the next point. All right, guys, so for the last tip I'm going to discuss here is going to be some advice for when you're later on in that process, after you've already found your breeder, you know, there are actual puppies, you're actually going to get one, right? You want to make sure that you are getting your health certifications from that breeder on that puppy that you're getting, and also, you know, health certification from the parents as well, right? Because you want to know about the specific bloodline, history of illness, hip issues. You know, Corso is prone to hip dysplasia. You don't want that in your bloodline. You don't want that in your dog. So you want to make sure that they're having, you know, all the proper health work done prior to you picking them up. All right, the puppies are being properly maintained, dewormers, vaccines, everything that they're supposed to get done prior to you picking them up needs to be taken care of. All right, if you're dealing with a reputable breeder, they probably have a process outlined, and they will make sure that they're forthcoming with this information and present it to you. But that's not always the case. We don't live in a perfect world, so make sure you are asking for these specific things, right? Research what you need outside, you know, maybe do some research outside of this video, see what type of certifications or documentation you would like to receive or that's good to receive, and ask your breeder for that information, right? Because everybody's not always honest, right? And they're not always going to, you know, just come out and, you know, roll out the red carpet for you and whatever, right? They're running a business. They're trying to get their, you know, breeding. They're getting them in, they're getting them out, and I don't want you guys to get caught up and receive a bad dog. Okay, you go through this long, extensive process. You've been doing the research. You found a breeder. You got your puppy. You get them home, and then your puppy has some sort of, you know, illness, or they're sick, and then you have to go through the process of trying to get a new puppy from the breeder or whatever. And hopefully they do honor that, because things happen. But you can mitigate some of this stuff by doing some research up front and asking the right questions. So I hope that lands with you well, and let's get into a recap. All right, guys, so if you made it to this point in the video, I just want to send a special thanks to you guys for watching the video. I know this is a very serious topic, and a lot of people out there are losing a lot of money when it comes to this breed. They're very expensive, very popular. Everybody seems to want one, but we're not always dealing with honest people. So I wanted to make this video to make sure that you guys got some information to put in your tool bag while you're going through this process. So to recap on some of the tips that we gave is to, you know, make sure that you're being patient during this entire process, respect the process, do research. All right, point number 2, do your due diligence. That's that research piece, you know, just discuss. And 3, make sure that you're doing what you got to do to receive the proper health certifications for your pup, to make sure that you do get a good, healthy pup. So I appreciate you guys watching the video. Make sure you like the video on the way out, and check out the video that we got popping up on the screen now. See you in the next one. Peace.